the way of life?
The way of life.
Are you telling them to live according to the purpose as to why they are created?
And that is the biggest reason as to why they were taken there.
Okay.
They were taken there to be told, to be given light. I mean, to be given more light about this life. Yes. So, when we are teaching them, we tell them that this is not the beginning and it is not the end.
Sheikh, what is our purpose on this earth?
The purpose, our purpose in this life is basically one thing, as far as religion is concerned. When you go to the secular side, or when you talk in the context of the world, there are so many purposes. But since this show is a religious one,
we are looking at the purpose in regards to Islam.
In regards to Islam.
Yes.
One, I will give you one verse where Allah says, actually He gives a very big question, where He requests for no answer because He has it all. Where He says, أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا وَأَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا لَا تُرْجَعُونَ. Have you been thinking, or have you thought that we created you to live freely? To live just for nothing, just enjoy this life, and that you will never give accountability for what you have done, and that to us you shall return? You understand? So it was such a big question, and actually He gives us answers, or He gives us answers to that question in so many places, or in so many positions in the Quran. Yes. So in Surah Al-Dhariyat, in the last part of Surah Al-Dhariyat, He gives us one answer. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I never created the jinns and the people. I never created both of them for nothing else other than worshipping me. So that is the sole purpose of this life. Because we did not initiate ourselves. We have an initiator, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And whenever a car maker makes a car, he has a purpose for it. To give him mobility from one place to another. That is its purpose, maybe, and other purposes. But as far as God, as far as Allah is concerned, it is all about worshiping Him, giving His orders respect.
So, talking about a specific objective, purposely to worship and then go.
Sorry?
When we talk about worshipping, is the objective of living purposely to worship and go, or there are some things or attachments?
No, in the end, first of all, you first need to know your genesis, the genesis of a human being.
Where I came from.
Where you came from. And where is your end? That is it. Where are you coming from, and where is your life ending? So when you are still in this course of life, Allah has given you life. What is He asking you to do when you are still you're still having that kind of life? So
according to your explanation, I'm trying to break this life into three parts.
Into three parts.
The genesis, the process, and the end. So what is the genesis?
Yes. So one, the beginning of every kind of life is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We never asked for it. It is a gift that He just gave. That He just gives to whoever He wishes, and we appreciate it. So we need to live, to live our life upon the purpose for which we are having it. You understand? So why are we having this kind of life? Why are we having this life? Is to worship. Then at point T, at a certain point, that life shall end. The first phase of life will end. You understand? And a lot will happen. Then another phase of life will begin.
After this one ending, then another one is beginning?
Another one is beginning. Then when we reach that, actually it is the third phase of life, because we have three phases. We have that phase when we are in the wombs of our mothers.
Yes.
Then when we breathe on earth, we take our time on earth, we live for a number of years that Allah wishes. We do enjoy the lives of those who wish to enjoy, those who adhere to Allah's commandments, do the ibadat as prescribed and as practiced by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then at the end of that second phase, we die. Then after dying, actually, at every stage, we have wishes as human beings.
Sheikh, you said that if when we are on this earth, those who wish to enjoy, they enjoy.
They enjoy.
So you mean we are not supposed to enjoy?
You need to enjoy in line with the purpose.
Oh.
In line
how do I do
with the purpose.
Enjoying and being in line with the purpose.
Actually, with enjoying, it may differ. It may be different. I mean, actually, enjoyment is different according to person. The way I enjoy is not the same way you enjoy.
Let's look at the standard, the basic, because at least we can enjoy differently, but then there are those things we can do which are basic, that at least you enjoy, again you do this and this and this and this.
No, one, we need to always stick it into, on our minds, that this life has got a constitution that we follow.
Okay.
If you do anything beyond that constitution, you know.
Yes.
You know what happens? You have gone against. If you do something against the constitution, then Allah will penalize you for that.
True.
And I believe Allah knows the best that we need. Not what we want, but what we need in this life to make it complete. It gives you what is just enough for you, or what is enough to solve your problems and even cater for others. You understand? If he wishes, he gives you much more than you can finish. Okay. If he wishes. And he prescribes how you spend what he gives you, because he has loads and loads of bounties on table to give out. And very many have received very many. You understand? And very many have received very little. True. Others have received too little.
Others have not received?
Others have received very little, but you cannot live when you are not receiving.
Oh, because you cannot. At least you're breathing and you're
yes. You have the basic. You inhale, you exhale, you have the life, you understand? Okay. You have the life.
True.
Those who are not completely enjoying maybe are dead, or we are not born. True. So long as you are alive, you have the basic of enjoying life. Okay. So long as you have life. No. Yes, and you need to be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that. Otherwise.
Okay. Let's look at the constitution, because we talked about the constitution that at least as we live, we must look up that constitution in life. What is that constitution and what does it entail us to do?
Now, the basic constitution of our life is Quran. We don't have any other than that. As far as as far as Islam is concerned. You can, as a Muslim, you are not allowed to go against the Quran. You are not. Whatever you do, you need to look up to the Quran. You need to be in line with the Quran. And secondly, the teachings and the silent approvals of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Okay. Understand? And maybe ijma' al-ulama, the word of the elites.
The elites.
Yes. So that is our constitution, and we are obliged to follow it from its beginning to its end.
Okay. From the constitution, do we have those extracts we can put in practice?
Yes. We have said our sole purpose is ibadah, is worshipping Allah. True. It is worshipping Allah. So when you want to worship Allah, first of all, you need to understand who Allah is. That one was the first question. It was the first task that was given to Adam alayhi salam, to all other prophets and messengers that came after him. Okay. It was the first thing. Because you cannot pay allegiance to someone you don't understand. You don't know. So the first thing ever is knowing Allah. Allah is. Even when the Prophet, peace be upon him, was sent, Allah gave him actually one of the first orders he was given was فَعْلَمْ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ وَاسْتَغْفِرُ لِذَنْبِكَ. Just understand that there is none worthy being worshipped than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was the first task. So you needed to know whom to respect, Allah. Then secondly, after knowing him, then you start knowing, understanding and learning what he asks you to do. What is he telling me to do? Yes, I've understood he's my master, he's my Lord. Then what is he telling me to do? Then you open the book of orders, the book of laws, the book of prescriptions. You start reading one by one, depending on how the Prophet taught them, because we never taught ourselves the Quran. True. It is the Prophet who taught us. And he taught the Quran in stages. Oh. Yes, he did not actually, even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send the Quran in stages. He did not send a whole book as it happened during the reign of Musa alayhi salam. Understand? So in the Quran, a number of actions of ibadah are there. There are very many. Okay. There are very many. We can just categorize them as obligatory and non-obligatory. Okay. The ones that are called sunnah. Yes, sunnah and the obligatory. The wajib and the sunnah. The sunnah. Yes. And other categories are there. What but those ones are the most prominent.
What are the sunnah that we are?
Maybe we first talk about the obligatory ones.
Okay, fine.
A few of them before you come into the sunnahs, because the sunnahs come, most of the sunnahs come from the obligatory ones. Like for example, when you mention the salah, that one is the 5 daily prayers. Those ones are obligatory. No one should miss them. Okay. And the one who will give accountability for missing any of them.
But these days we have a lot of excuse.
We have a lot.
These days, we come up with a lot of excuses. I'm busy, I can't.
But you cannot miss Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wow, He's always watching. However much excuses you bring on table, He knows where you began.
And actually, the work you talk about, which is too much, is the one who gave it to you.
Yes. So, and He says, "La yukallifu Allahu nafsan illa wus'aha." He never gave us what we cannot do. Oh. You understand?
Whatever you have.
Whatever He gave us, we can
handle.
We can hold, we can handle, we can lift, we can perform.
And the funny part of life is that the time for salah is very small.
Very small.
But we tend to...
5 to 10 minutes. But someone decides to spend 2 hours watching a match.
Yes.
And he misses a salah of 10 minutes. You understand? Yes. So which excuse will you give Allah?
Not even matches, but even films.
Even films.
Someone watches a film for 1.5.
For 1.5 hours. And then he misses a salah of 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
It's like Maghrib salah. It does not take long to finish it.
3 rakats.
Yes, 3 rakats. And it is having very little time. We try to make it short. Understand?
Okay.
So people are just they don't just adhere. They have just missed giving Allah respect.
Is that being lazy?
It is being lazy. It is being lazy, and sometimes actually Allah knows better. No. Allah knows better.
Okay.
Why some people act the way they act. Allah knows better.
He knows it all.
He knows it all. Yahdi man yasha wa yudillu man yasha. He puts whom He wishes on the right path, and He raises whom He wishes from the right path.
Sometimes I have a confusion there when that He puts someone He wishes in the right path, then someone He doesn't wish, they can be in the wrong path. Can Allah do that?
Yes.
Because what I believe, Allah wants us to be in the right path, of course.
He wants.
Then why does He want me to be the other side?
But first of all, He created 2 things. He created the Jannah and he created Jahannam. He created hell and paradise. And all those two homes, I mean, those two homes must have people in them.
They must have customers.
Yes, they must have customers. Yes, they must have customers. So it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who is the architecture of this life. You understand?
I thought
He is the architecture of this life. In that he plans when he wants you, when he wishes you to be among the right doers, you do the right. Actually, he makes you understand.
I thought it's certain.
And whom he wishes not, does not understand. However much you tell him the good things about Jannah, however much you tell him about the horrific life of hell, they will not understand. They will not get scared. Those are the ones whom Allah talks about in the Quran and says, أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ طَبَعَ اللَّهُ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ فَأَصَمَّهُمْ وَأَعْمَىٰ أَبْصَارَهُم. You understand? Those are the people of Allah that Allah sealed their hearts. Yes, their hearts are sealed. They accept no objectivity. You understand? They don't accept anything. They don't let out anything. So to them, you equate them to the blind. They don't see. Who does that? It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not even the shaitan. And the shaitan is there as a test to mankind. But remember, shaitan does not perfect its plan except by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Sheikh, I thought that when I do something wrong, it is shaitan. Then when I do something right, it is Allah guiding me to do that something right.
Yes, then that is right. It is right. Okay. But you remember the last statement I've said. Bi-idhnillah. The shaitan does not perfect any of its plans except by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because he put shaitan amongst us as a test. You need to use your brain as a believer and control your heart as a believer whenever you get faced by shaitan.
Sometimes you have
detect it.
The other inner person in you want to do something right, but then the shaitan is trying to pull you the side.
Yes, you need to fight
with your own inner person.
Yes.
Okay.
Then that inner person, you need to fight him harder. Because he's your closest enemy. He's your closest.
He tells me to do something which is not right.
Do something that is not right when you know what is right.
Yeah, actually, sometimes you know what is right, then you do something.
Not sometimes. Not sometimes.
Most times?
Most times. Because we have all the data that we require to live this kind of life. Allah gave us, uploaded it all in our heads. We know what is bad and what is right.
True.
That's why people don't do fornication during the day. Most people don't do it. The burglars.
Because they know it's bad.
Yes, those who do the roadblocks and, you understand? They don't do it during the day, during broad daylight, but mostly at night. Why? Because they know that whatever they are doing is not good, is not right. So that is it. So Allah planned everything prior.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay. Let's talk about the second obligatory thing. Because we talked about the salah now.
Yes, we have Sawm Ramadan. Well, actually, when we talk about those the obligatory ones, first and foremost,
I can see you coming up.
Yes, you talk about the pillars. The first thing, actually, mainly we first list those 5. The Shahada, and that was the first thing we talked about. You first needed to know who Allah is. And actually, one thing that we missed out was knowing Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Okay.
And then lastly, knowing the deen. And the knowing the deen mainly entails knowing the principles. What Islam tells you to do and what not to do.
Okay.
And those ones are called Maratib Deen. Actually, the Usul Deen. They're the levels of understanding this deen.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
The first level is understanding who Allah is. Then the second level is understanding who Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is.
Yes.
Then the last level is understanding what Islam entails.
Oh.
You understand?
Okay.
So you first understand the masters.
Then,
Then,
who is your master?
Who is your master?
Then look at the
Who is
messenger.
the
Who is my
first?
messenger?
Who is your messenger?
Then what does my deen tell me?
And then what did my messenger teach me?
Oh.
From our master. So
then you come to your deen.
Yeah. So that is deen. Those are called usul deen. They are the foundations. Foundation. Actually, those.
What about the pillars of faith?
Pillars
are
of
they
faith.
Part of it? This?
No, you can bring them in, but on a later stage.
Oh.
On a later stage.
Okay.
Because as far as Islam is concerned, there is what we call usul din, as we have explained them. Those are three. There is maratib din. Those are levels.
Levels. Yes.
Maratib din. I think those ones. They are those ones. They are very important for every Muslim to know. With maratib din, it is Islam. You first understand what Islam is. By definition, by practice, then you need to understand Iman. Secondly, that is the second level. The second level of the deen. You understand? Yeah. Then the last level.
Tell us that Iman can go high.
Yes,
and
it goes
go low.
high. I mean, it goes high and it goes low, depending on your actions.
What makes it go low?
I said it depending on your actions. When your actions,
or the surrounding?
Your personal actions.
Oh.
You see, we point a finger in the surrounding on the later stage, but the first person is you, because you are the driver of your own self.
True.
You decide on your own self. You decide what to do and not what to do. So you are the first to give accountability about yourself. So it gets slower. Not
the surrounding people around.
Not the surrounding people. And that is one of the lame claims that the people in hell shall give on the day of judgment. وقال الشيطان لما قضي الأمر إن الله وعدكم وعد الحق ووعدتكم فأخلفتكم وما كان لي عليكم من سلطان إلا أن دعوتكم فاستجبتم لي فلا تلوموني ولوموا أنفسكم ما أنا بمصرخكم وما أنتم بمصرخي. Okay. So that one actually.
Can you translate that phrase?
Some edits call it the khutub of shaitan in hell. Shaitan will give us someone in hell to people who have lame accusations of you led me into this wrong. You understand? It wasn't by me. I did not mean that. It is the shaitan that drove me unknowingly and found myself in that corner. No. So the shaitan will come on the day of judgment and give that bitter sermon to the people of hell. In Allah wa'adakum wa'ad al-haq. Allah promised you. You understand? He gave you a standing promise. And I also gave you a promise. Which promise? So
instead you take mine than taking Allah's promise.
So there is two promises there. When Shaitan was chased out of the heaven, he said, Rabbi bima aghwaytani la ughwiyannahum ajma'in. My Lord, I'm going to drive them astray. I'm going to destroy them.
Everyone, yes.
You understand? Since you have done this to me, I will never.
Let me go and revenge.
I will never leave them live peacefully on earth. I will do that revenge.
So when I do something wrong, Shaitan is revenging on me.
Shaitan is revenging on you, and stupidly you follow him.
Yes.
You are fighting a battle for Shaitan. Okay. You understand? Yet Allah also promised you. He sent Muhammad, Ya inna arsalnaka bashiran wa nadhira. Understand? We sent you to give good tidings of Jannah to those who will follow my message, and to give the bad news of hell to those who will turn their backs against the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what is that bad news? It is hell, and what it entails, and what is in there. So that is the promise that the Shaitan will be talking about in hell.
Sheikh.
Yes.
Let's have a case in point that I've lived on this world, on earth, for a certain year. I have wronged for like 30 to 40, 50 years. Then when I reached 60, I decided to go back to my Lord and start repenting. Is it allowed?
That is one of the most beautiful actions. One of the most beautiful.
Because in our useful days, sometimes we do a lot.
We do a lot of wrongs.
Yes.
When we are still youth.
Yes.
When we still feel the power and the energy.
But when we start clocking 35, 36, 40, then we start realizing, oh, this is a mistake.
We had gone astray. Yes.
Then we realize the reason of living.
Of living life. That is our topic today, the purpose of life. Yes. Allah makes you understand at a certain point. Makes you understand. He tries to call you. He gives you that divine call. You try to resist as he keeps on calling you. He keeps on giving. He keeps on giving you signs.
You see. Things are changing. Things are changing into your life.
Things are changing into your life, but you are not diffusing it from him. You are not bothered enough until when you reach that exact moment when he wants you changed completely.
And you say,
but Allah has got good tidings. Why he says, "Ya ibadi alladhina, qul ya ibadi alladhina asrafu, la taqnatu min rahmatillah, inna Allah yaghfiru dhunuba jami'a." Yes. Inna Allah yaghfiru dhunuba jami'a. Allah forgives all the sins. Allah forgives all the sins. And you know the beautiful thing, one of the most beautiful things that you should always ask Allah is life. You should ask for life.
Because when you have life, you can repent.
Because when you have life, you can repent. When you don't have life, that is the end of your story.
The God is gone.
I give you a simple story of two people who had come from very far. They had come to Medina.
Okay.
During the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And these two people, one was a brother to the other. Understand? One of them died before the other one. The other one lived for another year.
Okay.
Understand? And these two men were hosted by a Sahaba known by Amr ibn al-As.
Okay.
Is the one who hosted them. But when he went with them in the battle, the other one who died was the most fierce, was the most strong.
Okay.
You understand? He fought a lot.
Okay.
And he was appreciated by many. But he did not miss kicking his bucket in that battle. He died. He died there. The one who was weak stayed alive. But surprisingly, this Sahaba saw in a dream. He saw both of them in a dream.
Okay.
When the one who died last was the first to enter Jannah. When the one who died first, moreover, he died in a battle. You understand? He also entered, but after the other. Then that dream surprised him a lot and went to the Prophet ﷺ
for translation.
For translation. And he told him that didn't this one die a year after the other one?
Yes.
So the weak died a year after.
So it means he had
time
to repent,
to do more than what his brother did.
After realizing that my brother has died, he knew his time is coming.
Of course.
So he started preparing himself for the journey.
Of course, he had to, and you have to prepare. That's why we are advised to give respect every kind of minute that you have.
Actually, that's another lesson now I'm getting from you, because when I go for a burial, it should be a lesson that he has gone.
You are the
next. It's me.
Yes.
The moment you have that in you, then you can start repenting.
Yes. But for those whom Allah have opened their minds.
Others feel they still have time to live.
Yes. I've told you here, signs are given every now and then. And don't think that they stopped coming on during the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
They are still coming even now.
Signs are still coming. Signs come every now and then for you to understand.
To open up the mind.
To open up your mind.
Yes, something.
Maybe that one sign will wake you up. Understand? If you fail to wake up on that sign, Allah is too merciful.
He will give you another
gracious. He gives you another chance and another chance. You do a lot of mischiefs. 1 day, 2 days, 2 weeks, 10 years you are mischieving, Allah gives you more time.
Then you leave.
Then, well, then when your time comes,
then your time elapses.
Your time elapses and He calls you for good. And no return ticket. With no return ticket.
Wow, wow, that's one of the biggest.
Yes. So we need to use our time diligently.
Yes.
We need to live this life purposefully. We need to know the biggest purpose as to why we are alive.
Sheikh, there is this sentiment that someone who is staunch.
A staunch what?
A Muslim.
A staunch Muslim.
Okay, someone who, that is a staunch believer.
Yes.
That on this world, you live as if you're in prison. Is that the right statement?
It is right, but with an explanation. Why is it so?
Because if you tell me to live to be like in prison, then...
You live like in a prison because we are servants.
Oh.
We are servants. That is a brief explanation I can give you. When you are a servant, you don't serve whom you wish, but you serve the one you are the one you are told to serve. You understand?
Sheikh, how are we supposed to enjoy this life?
Enjoy the life as per the teachings of the deen.
Oh.
As per the teachings of the deen. If they tell you to be happy.
If it's time for prayer, if I was watching football, then time for Dhuhr comes, or then you first go and pray?
Go and pray.
Oh,
come back, enjoy your football. Because watching football is not haram. It is haram when it is consuming time for the obligatory duties.
Okay.
You understand? It becomes haram. You understand?
Okay. If I'm in business, then when I'm dealing with the transaction, then I have to use that principle.
Use that principle, unless when it is an emergency, because even emergencies are given allowance in Islam. Yes, but if it is not an emergency, please, just stop whatever you're doing.
Okay.
Do the needful.
Okay.
Yes. There's no reason as to why you keep on pressing and watching your football. Because you want to see every goal as it is netted.
Yes.
No.
Actually, yes.
Because the Prophet says, "Man taraka shay'an lillahi awadahu Allahu khayran minha." Whoever decides to leave something for the sake of Allah, Allah gives him something better than what he left in return.
I have a shop at William Street. It's time for prayers. I close, I go for prayer, then I come back.
And that is the best
solution.
solution.
Miss the customers.
That is the best solution. Because I cannot give you any other jurisdiction other than that. It is the best action.
I close.
And if at all you happen to get the chance and go for Umrah or Hajj, the shops around the Masjid in Nabawi, in Medina, and even in Makkah and other places, whenever they hear Adhan, it is a law, since it is an Islamic state, it's a law that they close their shops.
Actually, that same thing happens at old Kampala. All those shops that are enclosed within the National Mosque, when it is Adhan, you close. If you don't close, tomorrow you're not there. That is the order.
And all the people who will buy from you are the Muslims who have gone for Salah. Why don't you go for Salah as well?
And actually, some people,
especially those who are living,
some people end up closing themselves, locking themselves into the shops.
Yes.
But they don't go for Salah. When Shaitan is doing his work.
Shaitan is at work. Shaitan is at work. There, Shaitan is at work. And they do it. They do it. They close themselves inside. They sit there. The Salah elapses. They open.
They open.
That is what the law says. The law is not telling you to go for Salah. It is telling you to close the door. I mean those ones.
You honor the time.
You honor the time for Salah.
Okay.
That's what basically they do. But remember, Allah is the all-watching.
So you close yourself into the shop. Allah is watching you that you're not praying.
Yes, this hide and seek you are doing.
I call it deceiving yourself.
You are fooling yourself, actually. Yes.
It's like during fasting period, you take dark, you come for work.
You come for work.
You look for a confined place, you go and eat lunch, then you go back to work.
You take a bottle of water.
Yeah, then you say, Nasivi.
When you are mature enough, أولئك الذين طبع الله على قلوبهم فأصمهم وأعمى أبصارهم. Sometimes it is Allah who seals their hearts and even their brains. They don't understand well and they don't have feelings. You understand? They fail to have feelings and they fail to understand.
This is
they don't take any kind of advice. They don't outtake any bad idea in them.
Sheikh, as when I look at the time is going, can we live that purposeful life following the doctrines and the principles in the current situation in the world? Is it possible, really?
It is possible. It is possible.
Because people talk about trend, talk about the way you dress, talk about the way our ladies and women dress. Sometimes you find someone is, I mean, that fitting, which is not allowed, but then they talk about the trend.
When the Prophet ﷺ was about to die, he said it to his companions, تَرَكْتُ فِيكُمْ أَمْرَيْنِ مَا إِن تَمَسَكْتُمْ بِهِمَا لَن تَضِلُّوا بَعْدِي. I've left you two things, which if you stick on them, you will never go astray.
Okay.
Kitabullahi wa sunnati.
The Quran,
the book of Allah, that is the Quran,
and the Hadith,
wa sunnati, and the ahadith. You understand?
Okay.
The actions, actually.
That is why
whatever
you do, whatever you say, you always give up a reference.
You need to give reference on whatever you are doing. You are putting on a skimpy dress, you need to bring reference. Where are you getting that from? The holy structure, from the holy, the holy book, from the hadith, from the actions of the Prophet, actually from the actions of his wives. Was it written anywhere that Aisha put on that skimpy thing you are putting on? No. So you need to stick on those two things, even in the hardest of the times.
Actually, that whatever we do in life, we have to consult.
The book. Go back to the book, read it. Go through the actions of the Prophet ﷺ. Look through the actions of his wives. Look through the actions of the companions, the Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, and all other companions. You understand? You look through them. You look through the actions of the Islamic elites, our imams, the Shafi'i, the Abu Hanifa, the Hanbal, and the others. Understand? You look through their actions.
I think that calls for more reading and too much reading.
You need to read. That's why Islam stands out, even up to today. Because Islam, you cannot practice Islam without knowledge. You cannot.
Okay.
And the first thing, actually, one of the first verses we have said at the beginning of this show, it is فَاعْلَمْ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. Allah was commanding Muhammad ﷺ to understand, to get knowledge, to learn.
Okay.
The first thing. No. And when he was in the cave of Hira, he was told, Iqra. The verse, read. It was emphasizing knowledge. So there is no way you can separate knowledge from practicing Islam. What will you be practicing?
Knowledge, practicing, the work hand in hand. You have to share.
You need to first learn. You need to first learn, then you practice.
And whatever you practice must have a reference.
It must have a reference. Don't just practice because you saw your friend doing so and so. But if at all it is your first time to get, to learn that, to see someone doing that, then you need to approach him. And it gives you more details about it.
Actually, I was going to talk about that because sometimes we have our sheikhs we follow. Like I might say, Sheikh Rajab is my sheikh. Sometimes there are things you do, then I follow you.
You just follow.
Yes.
Then
is it allowed?
I must make sure. Of course you have, because we've first of all, our number one person that we follow is Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. And if I try my level best to do as Muhammad ﷺ did, then some people may take me as an example in the society.
So you be
they do as I do.
Okay.
They do as I do. Understand? So me as a person, as maybe a sheikh, I need to improve on my character.
Okay.
Understand? I need to do exactly what the Prophet did.
Okay.
Because once I do what the Prophet never did, and these people copy from me, I become their shaitan.
No.
You understand?
No.
And I will be penalized for that.
Now, Sheikh.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
we've had enough and good discussion. But before you leave, our young brothers, our kids, are starting the exams. Actually, today it was briefing. Next week, they are starting the exams.
Next week, the senior
Yes,
course.
I need a dua from you to the nation and the people who are watching now. Naam.
But I will say it in Arabic.
Naam, inshallah.
I will say it in Arabic.
Naam.
I'm sorry for those ones who don't understand Arabic,
Okay.
but I feel very comfortable.
So we should raise our hands?
We raise our hands.
Okay, naam.
It's better to raise the hands because we are asking, and the one we are asking, we believe is up.
Okay.
And we want everything to fall in our hands.
Naam.
You understand? بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على أكرم الأكرمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد في الأولين. وصل وسلم على سيدنا محمد في الآخرين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد كلما ذكره الذاكرين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد في الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين. اللهم يا معلم آدم. اللهم يا معلم آدم علم أبناءنا. ويا مفهم سليمان فهم أبناءنا. اللهم علمنا وإياهم ما ينفعنا وانفعنا وإياهم بما علمتنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اجعلهم من المتفوقين. اللهم اجعلهم من المتفوقين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. ربنا آتنا وإياهم حسنة في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة إنك على كل شيء قدير. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم ألف بين قلوبنا وأصلح ذات بيننا وهدنا سبل السلام وجنبنا الفواحش ما ظهر منها وما بطن ونجنا من الظلمات إلى النور برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
We pray for the success of our young brother and Nam.
Yes.
Nam, anything as we close?
Yes. I think one thing, I just send my regards to my beautiful wife.
MashaAllah.
Sophia Kayiga.
Okay.
I know she's passing through a difficult time, but Allah will be there to comfort her and me as well, and the family at large.
Thank you so much, sir.
I send my last regards to the people I work with, especially my boss, Sheikh Yiga Ramadan, there is a Sheikh Intanda Muzanganda, and the general staff of Kabawa Hidayah. Yes.
Thank you so much for coming around, and I'm sure we had a good discussion.
Yes.
So interesting and educative.
Thank you, sir.
I want to thank everyone for watching and for being with us. It has been a good show. We are looking at the purpose of life, why we are here on earth. Just know there's an accountability after. So, do good. Try at least to be good. I want to thank the team, Jamil and the team and people who have been watching us. I'm Rashid Chiwanuka. Till next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So, I'm here to announce that the MTN Kampala Marathon is back. And this year, we are running for babies. To be clear, I am not talking about a baby. No. And neither am I talking about to be baby.